are back for SLM Podcast episode number 4.
Here we go.
We took last month off just because we could, that's how we do it over here. But we do have some big announcements coming up. Today's episode, we are graced with one of Houston's rap legends, Mr. Tommy G. Tommy G, you on the phone?
Yes, sir. What's good? What's good, guys? Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no problem. We're going to get into some stuff here in a minute with Tommy. A few announcements is we want to make sure everybody knows the SLM Awards. Everybody was asking.
Yep.
We do have it scheduled for the end of the year this year. Last year, everyone knows COVID kind of shut us down. But we do have the website up. You can go to www.slm.buzz, B-U-Z-Z.
Yep.
You can go ahead and nominate your favorite local artists, local musicians, artists as far as painters, graffiti artists, tattoo artists, best local bartenders, rappers, singers, everything, drummer, bass guitarist. There's categories galore.
Yeah.
Go nominate who you want on there.
Let's do it.
Once the nominations are done, the voting will be up, and then you can go in there and vote as many times as you want, just like we've done the last 5 years.
Yeah.
We will have an announcement on the Legend Award recipient coming soon this year, but the SLM Awards will be held November 27th at the Scout Bar in Clear Lake yet again. So SLM Awards is coming. Go to slm.buzz and put your nominations in.
Yes, do it.
Well, let's get into the music realm, man.
Let's do it.
You started out in the bit. How old were you when you started out?
Yeah.
What were we? We were, I'm going to say 96.
Okay.
95, 96 is when we first started getting the idea of messing with this music thing, right?
Right.
And were you from Galveston also?
Yeah, we're all from Galveston.
Okay.
All of the guys from the company are from Galveston. We were all homegrown, found there. Until the only thing that we started messing with in the Houston area is when we hooked up with the Block of D guys.
Okay.
Right. But besides that, it was all homegrown talent. And that's what we were. We had always been into the music since we were youngsters. And you guys know about the Tuesdays waiting for the new music to come out, waiting for, whatever was going to be there.
Right.
Before that, we were into the dancing. We thought we would watch all the rappers, and Big Daddy Kane had Scoop and Scrap Lover. Heavy D had his dancers. So that was our first little we were all into that. And we started doing shit with that, with the dancing. And then it kind of transpired into where we were in the streets. And then it came back to the music, but we never lost, focus of music. But I'm saying as far as like with rapping, first it was the love of the music.
Right.
And then the dancing and shit like that, us being young. And then it went into, it transpired into the rapping thing, I would say. That's how it kind of went. Because we were young, man. We just loved everything, we loved all that kind of stuff. We had our heroes, our street heroes from Galveston that were getting money and the gold and all that, and we were just, and excuse my language, but we was doing shit before we were rappers.
Right.
You know what I mean? We had hoes before we were rapping.
Gotcha.
So all that kind of it all just transpired into the music thing, and we kind of just, did it like that.
Got it. So you dropped that first album, Deep in the Game.
Deep in the Game album, yeah.
Give me some thoughts on about, how that came about. Was that just you guys recording music and put in, okay, we got enough songs, let's do an album? Was there really thought, or did you guys have knowledge about how to put an album together?
Yes, we were manipulators, and we were like plan makers.
Okay.
We've always been like that, and the thing about it is iron sharpens iron. So when you talk and you kind of decide, we decided that we were going to go into this music thing.
Right.
We said, let's do it. You know what I mean? We're going to do this. And we told ourselves was, and I'm going to get into the Deep in the Game album, but I'm kind of going to give you our mind frame as being young and novice in the games. What we said was, we're going to give ourselves 4 years in this music shit.
Okay.
Right. And if it doesn't work after 4 years, we're going to give ourselves 1 more year, just to be fair.
Right.
Because the plan is the 4 years. But it just so happens that we hit the end of our sophomore year. Right. Okay, so the Deep in the Game album, what we did was, you know, at that time, Grim was it. That was the only probably Latin that we knew was doing any kind of music, but he didn't sound like us.
Right.
You know, because Galveston has its own swag, bro. Galveston is its own world.
Right.
You know, and at that time, you know, Galveston was its own island. We were our own entity. We had our own style. We had our own slang. We had our own way that we carried ourselves.
Okay.
So when we started thinking about doing the music, of course, we were listening to the Ghetto Boys. We were listening to the SPCs and the other, you know, nationwide groups at that time. But we started kind of finding our own sound, and we always said that we wanted to sound like ourselves.
Okay.
So we stuck true to that. Right. And so what we started doing was, there were rappers from Galveston, the Jack the Rippers, the Sniper Riches, you know, Hog was our boy Chris Love is Hog.
Right.
He was running with them. Those were the Morenos of the island that were doing it. Right. Of course, we had the priors. We had a guy named Fila Mike that was trying to do it, but unfortunately he passed. Right. So Fila Mike, he had a little buzz going on, but as far as on the island, he was known. Right. But these rappers that I mentioned first, which were the Jack the Rippers, the Snipes, and the Hogs, and those guys, those were the Morenos that were doing it, but they were also from the areas that we were from. Right. So we knew them, and so we had, you know, camaraderie with these guys, and we just started kind of poking our nose around who could produce us some music. And there was a guy named Big at that time that was doing tracks. So we started buying equipment, right, and bringing these guys in to do stuff for us. So we started producing some songs, and we had a guy named Roshan Mason, which was a beautiful thing, because I'm from 15th Street, right? The Bloods are from 19th Street. The Crips are from 11th Street. I was a weed man. That was my thing. I like selling weed. I wasn't really into too much of the other stuff at that time. And so I was kind of like in the middle, and I would talk to the guys from 19th, and I would talk to the guys from 11th, because it was all cool, because T had the bud, right? But Roshan was from a whole different area of Galveston, which was, if I'm not mistaken, it was more Oleander or 53rd Street area. I could be wrong. But it was cool because Roshan's more my age. Roshan at that time was getting money, and he had his hand in clubs in Galveston. But Roshan saw something in us. He saw something in us, and he was like, these boys are about to do something. So all of a sudden, he got excited with what we were doing. And we started performing at some of the little venues that he had in Galveston. Right? So, and it's all going to make sense. It all goes back to the Deep in the Game album. So, unfortunately, Roshan got locked up right when that was happening. Right? So, but we kind of had an idea what we were going to do. But there was a guy named Danny Medellin. Danny Medellin is also known as DJ Storm. Storm is originally from Galveston, right? He got his brother David, and he has another brother too. But Storm already had been living in Houston and working at Sound Waves. And that's when he was working with DJ Premier. If you remember, DJ Premier is from Houston.
Right.
He's actually from Houston. A lot of people think he's from New York, but he's from Houston. So Danny started producing tracks. Right? He was producing tracks at that time, and he was working with the Odd Squad and Gang Society. So somehow, I forgot how it even happened. I can't even tell you. We hooked up with Danny. So Danny did a lot of tracks besides us on our Deep in the Game album.
I see.
Right? So he did our Killers and Dollar Billers. He did a lot of songs on that album, you know, and we just built a camaraderie with him too. Unfortunately, Storm passed about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. He passed. but he had a lot to do with our Deep in the Game album.
Oh, okay.
But during this time, you know, we were sponges, bro. We were sponges and we were learning, you know, and what one of us didn't want to do, the other would convince to do.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying, I don't want to go do this show, man. Come on, let's do it. All right, fuck it, let's do it, man. I don't want to do this. Well, man, come on, let's do it. All right, let's do it. And that's what it kind of took for us to kind of start taking those chances. And what ended up happening was we went and did a talent show at Club Caravana. You remember Club Caravana?
Yeah.
Okay, so Club Caravana at that time was having a talent show, and they were doing is they were offering someone a chance to win a record contract. Okay, and it would have either been with Big Time Records, or you could have talked with Rap a Lot. Also at that time was X Band, which was the Faculty.
Oh, okay.
And one of those guys. We won that talent show.
Oh man.
Yeah, we won that talent show, and we won it pretty strongly, you know. And we had a chance to. This is about the time that we were finishing up the Deep in the Game album.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that we promised ourselves is that we would never let someone tell us how to rap, because one of the things that we were finding is us being Latino, they're expecting the ese vato shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Especially at that time. They weren't used to Mexicans like us.
Right.
You know, and we were from Galveston, and it kind of goes back to our own swag. And what ended up happening was we talked to these record companies, and they were telling us, hey, man, like, what the fuck can you tell us when we're pulling up to these shows?
Yeah.
We got nicer cars than these rappers. We got nicer things going on than these rappers that we actually look up to at the time. We're seeing them there. And then all the bartenders and shit are tripping out on us because we're tipping.
Yeah.
You know, we're walking in 15 deep, you know, and the money that we're winning. You know what we did with our money that we won from the talent show?
What's that?
We went to the taqueria and we paid for all the food.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's what we did with the money, because we just won $300.
Yeah.
But man, we just spent $300 or $400 on the outfit that you see us in each.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, but this is cool. But you know, so what that taught us is that the industry is an industry and it's a business.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we took it upon it ourselves to learn the business, and that's when we released the Deep in the Game album.
Okay.
We went to Straight for the Streets. We gave it to Mad Hatter. He actually gave us some spins on that. We did interviews with them. We learned about buying commercials. We learned about how the game works. You know, at that time, the game is very different now.
Yeah.
But we kind of learned how it worked then, and we just progressed like that. You know, and we were sponging.
Yeah.
You know, and we just started going. So that's where the Deep in the Game. That's how the Deep in the Game album came to be.
Oh, okay.
If that answers your question, I know it was a little long answer, but I think it's something that needs to be known, because it's a pretty cool story. You know, it's a pretty cool story.
It is.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just what Johnny was saying, you know, that's history from you guys that doesn't get out there and people to know.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, when people talk about you guys in the music industry, it always leapfrogs that beginning, that Deep in the Game, and it goes right into the Nasty Girl song, Just a Friend of Me, Latium.
Right.
You know, what do you take from your whole experience with Charles Chavez over those years? You know, was hooking up with Charles Chavez and Latium something you wanted to do at that point? And would you have stayed with them if you had the opportunity?
Well, I just talked to Charles probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Okay.
And him and I talked on the phone for like 30 minutes. And, you know, the thing is, everybody was new to what we were doing at that time. Even Charles admits at that time we were like his first group that he ever, you know, did something with.
Okay.
But, you know, when we would talk to Charles, and just like I'm talking to you now, if I tell you that I'm going to come pick you up at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock.
Right.
You know, if I tell you I can do something, I'm going to do it. If I can't, I'm not going to make you the promise.
Exactly.
So what we told Charles from the beginning is like, look, man, you treat us right, because we signed a 2-album deal with them.
Okay.
Right. And we told him, look, if you treat us right, we're going to stay with you. If we can keep making money together, we'll stay with you. But it didn't go the way that we wanted it to, so we moved on.
Right.
Right. But you asked me if I think that it was a good decision. I think it was a great decision.
Okay.
Because at the time it fit us, because it's all about sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like I told somebody the other day, I was like, listen, man, if somebody comes and tells you, look, you can come work for us for, let's say, $17.95 for 2 years, and then in 3 years you can run the company and make $40 an hour.
Exactly.
But I need you for those 2 years to come work for me. You're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we saw it as. We made a promise to each other. We were like, you know what? We're going to do this, and we're going to network. We're going to be cool. We're going to be who we are. We're going to stay to our word. We're not going to fuck nobody over.
Right.
You know, we're going to play our part. And as long as you let us promote our company and be who we are, we'll be just fine. It didn't work out like that totally, so that's why we moved on.
No, okay.
But at that time, the deal totally was perfect for us.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because it moved us up so many steps in the industry. You know, and it was perfect for us being young and everything happening the way it happened.
Mm.
So yeah, it was a pretty cool deal. I think it was.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
You know, it might not have ended perfectly, but we left with our heads held high. We had fulfilled every part of our, you know, obligation to the contract.
Right.
We even gave them a good album.
Oh yeah.
You know, because we were like, man, we're not going to give them no bullshit. You know what I mean? Because our fans, you know, we would really just be hurting our fans.
Exactly.
You know, and we wouldn't really be being true, because we love the music, bro. We lived that thing. That was our life. You know what I mean? 24/7. That was our life.
Yeah.
So that's when we gave him the Street Supply album. But at that time, he was already starting to get involved with other artists, and he didn't push that album the way he should have.
I see.
You know, because he already knew he was losing us.
Right.
That's, you know, and that's his fault. You know, the album's a good album. It's a great album.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then we just moved on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I think it was a good idea for us, for sure.
Yeah, Latium was to me, I don't know. I was on the outside looking in on that, but it was almost like they were trying to spread themselves a little bit too fast there. I mean, they had you guys, they had Gemini, who was popping. They had a Lucky album that looked like it was just something quick that he put out. And then they had the singer, the Latin, what was her name?
See, you went to Gemini, right?
Yeah.
Gemini wasn't until after we were gone.
Oh.
From Lifestyl, that's when we first met Lucky, but Lucky didn't put an album out. He signed some chick named. He tried to do a 3-girl group.
Oh.
It didn't really work out. But then he signed a girl named Brisa.
Brisa, that's
right?
what I was.
And Brisa didn't work out for him either. Right? So then that's when he kind of started going towards Lucky. And then at the same time, he had a couple other little artists that he was kind of deciding who he was going to push, which really none of them really panned out.
I see.
And then that's when we kind of moved on already, because yes, he started kind of like trying to do too many things. And unfortunately, they weren't going to be the anchor that he wanted them to be. They weren't going to be able to put up the numbers that he wanted, you know? So yeah, so it was one of those things where I do feel like he spread himself out too quick, you know, because it's one of those things, I think, too, where you don't want to be wrong, and you know, and you're just trying to do what you got to do. But but you know, hey, you know, we were gone, and like I said, and you know, it took us a little while to recover from moving on, but we recovered very well. I'll say that.
That's true.
The numbers got real good real fast when they were in our hands. So. We did some good money with Robert Gilliman. We made some good money with him. I hear a lot of people, say some certain things. I can't say nothing bad about Robert. Robert gave us our checks every time we needed them.
There you go.
So shit, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, Robert. I saw probably it was about 6 months ago. He's back in the business again.
Yeah, he's trying to do a distribution company. He's trying to do some things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Gilliman. We're gonna get him on the show here soon and relive some of them old times.
I'm sure he has a lot, man. You know, he's helped so many artists, even outside of the rap industry, you know, the independent artists, man. At that time, you know, money was so good back then, bro. It's ridiculous. It was crazy. Yeah.
I try and tell some new artists about that. I was like, guys, you don't understand how much money we were making at these shows. And I'm not even talking about what we got paid to perform. I mean, most of the time it was like $100 on us, on our side, here's $100 to perform, but yet on our booth, we would make $500-$600 just selling CDs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. See, that was our thing too. Like we were making good money, getting our shows. At that time, money started getting better for us, and then our booth was making a nice little grip too.
There you go.
So we weren't tripping. It was good.
Yeah.
But things were so different then, and there's still money out there, but it's just a whole different little game,
It is.
So,
You're right.
but it's respected. I mean, I wish all those new guys the best of luck, whatever it may be.
So when you guys started getting played on the radio, when was that first time you noticed that Latium, Lifestyl, had an actual following?
Man, what would trip me out is, like, I would be in the car and I would hear our shit come on 100.7.
There you go.
And then about 10 or 15 minutes later, I would change the radio and it'd be on 97.9. And then about 20, 30 minutes later, I'd change it back and it'd be on 100.7.
Yep.
They were playing our shit so much, I got tired of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when I really knew that something was going on is when I heard us on 104 in the mix. Yeah. And that's when you're like, man, something's really, really happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? And of course we had some great shows too that kind of solidified that too. But man, us just being, on all these stations all the time and it's amazing. It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. But I remember, like, the first time me being in one of my houses and a car driving by on the island, and there was 3 guys in the car driving by, and they were listening to our shit all loud. That meant more to me, almost just as much as the radio play. Because a lot of these guys, they don't understand, like, the radio, man. I don't care what you say, bro. There's nothing like radio play. Radio play is an amazing game changer. But man, when people ride, like, when you pull up to a gas station and you hear somebody jamming your shit that don't know you're pulling up,
right?
That's the stuff
feeling,
that really means something to you. I've never taken fan love for granted. I always, I'm thankful. I'll still thank any fan to this day. I'll take, if I have time to take the time and talk to them, I'll say thank you or whatever it may be.
Right.
Because, man, that's the amazing feeling. The radio is like, I can't really remember. Homie Marco, I knew our shit was going to come on, and I know when he played it, it was crazy, but he played it so much. And then I don't know if y'all knew this, because that station, we had #1 on that station for like 3 or 4 months in a row, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it was crazy because we came out with the first version of Nasty Girl, which was our version, and they were using that. But then they turned around and did the goddamn remix. And then when they did the remix, that was a whole different, it was like a whole new song, but it was the same song. Because, I mean, if you listen to...
That was the one Charles Chavez...
Yeah, that's the one, the Latium remix, and that's the one that hit for us nationwide. We had play on 20-something stations across the country.
Wow.
So that was crazy. That was like a whole new rocket ship to jump onto. So, it was iconic, man. It was just a trip, man. Like, your shit being on the radio. But that's how you kind of knew you had a stronghold. Besides the fact of going to the movies and they recognize you and they're like, just come in, or you go somewhere and they just give you shit for free. You're like, what's going on here? We from the hood. We ain't used to just, don't worry about it, or we know who you are, But one time I went to go see the movie Traffic in Corpus. I went down there with my girl at the time, and we went for a funeral. And I was walking into a movie theater, and a black kid selling the tickets recognized me. And that blew my mind. I said, man, how is this young black dude recognize me in Corpus Christi, Texas? Right. And then, like, once again, I got in the movies for free. They gave us all free popcorn and drinks and all that. And we were like, I was like, man, that shit blew my mind, So stuff like that lets you know that something special is happening, So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Those were cool, So.
Yeah, gotcha. What of all the albums that you did, which ones are you most proud of that you can look at and say, I left it all in the studio on that one?
Are you saying song or just the
Song
albums?
or total album?
Man, that's crazy, bro, because each one is like your own kid.
Right.
If you really love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not trying to like get away from it, because Deep in the Game was so special because we broke so many barriers with that one.
Exactly.
Right. But then Mob Style is what solidified us in the industry. So that's a different baby.
Yeah.
And as crazy as it sounds, with Street Supply not getting as much exposure as it should have, I think that was a very different time in our lives too.
Yeah.
Because, we were just so deep into what we were doing at that time.
Right.
Whether it was the streets or the music, that was an amazing time too. Like, I loved making that album, even though half of that album was a blur, it was just an amazing time in our lives too. So I'm sorry, I can't really say which one is my favorite, because like on Street Supply, I love the Drug song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love the Drug song. On the Deep in the Game, I love the song that we did with Gang Society and Old Baby. Those were like special songs to me. Then on the Mob Style, I love, like, there's a song called as I jump into the ride crease, Bounce.
Okay.
Bounce, and we loved Bounce. Bounce was like, we thought Bounce was the man. We were going to take over the world with Bounce, but Nasty Girl was the one, right?
Yeah.
But then there's Chances too. So those songs hold such dear spots to us, man, that So I'm sorry I can't choose one, but they all were special to me, man.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. I love music, man. I'm just a music lover. So if it's my shit, I love it. That's just the way I am.
How did you like working on the Lone Star Rider type albums? Because you guys, anytime there was some sort of Latin compilation, you guys were always featured on there in some way or another. And the Lone Star Riders one always pops out at me because I think one of my favorite songs you guys ever did was on that LSR album with Take It Off.
Yeah. I love to break a bitch.
Yeah.
That's the way I live my life. Yeah, that's and a lot of those verses are true stories, man. When you hear like us dogging some broad out or doing some crazy shit, or it's either someone we knew or it was personal stories. But anyway, yes, that's one of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite verses, actually. What was cool about those times is, with our start, with the way we did a lot of stuff with Los and all them, we didn't always have to get along. Yeah. But we made it work.
I see.
Right? So, that Lone Star with that shit, that's Happy P.
Yeah.
That, Take It Off is Happy P.
Right.
So, I mean, I loved working with those guys on that stuff, man, because it's all strategic business moves.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's how we looked at it. But, there's still camaraderie there. There's songs that Los asked me to get on that I told him no.
Oh, okay.
Because, because you're asking me, it wasn't like we would just jump on anything. We still had to have more control of what we were doing as far as lifestyle. We just ain't gonna let you hand us something and be like, here, jump on this. Because I mean, like that Valley song. You remember the Valley song that has like 90 people on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the original concept for that song was supposed to be us, Shut 'Em Down, and Los.
Oh, okay.
That was supposed to be it. And I forgot how. I think we were supposed to talk about bringing it from Mexico. Shut 'Em Down was going to talk about distributing it, and Los was going to talk about moving it in Houston.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? That's how that song was supposed to go.
I see.
But it just turned into a fucking big bunch
Click
of
song,
vocal. Yeah, and I was just like, man, I'm not jumping on this song. So I didn't jump on the song. I was like, no, I'm good. But that's just one example. But with the Lone Star Riders, man, it was good for us to do it because, it was just, those were good strong compilation albums to be on.
Definitely.
If you notice, Los was on our albums too.
Right.
And then we used to call it just trading dope for dope. We'll give you something, you give us something, and we're cool. We ain't tripping. That's it, and that's how we were moving back then, So those were great opportunities for us. Again, it's all strategic, and it's good business. It was good business at the time.
It definitely was.
For sure.
So what about now? What type of is there a difference in the music you're making now? I mean, of course, things are going to change. The things you're talking about is going to change. Your mindset is going to change. But is the music itself any different? Is Tommy G's new albums different than what they were?
To be honest with you, I'm going to say no. Shadow just left my house about 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because I just did a song for Shadow's project, and him and I were talking about some stuff he has going on, and we just kind of all cross-reference each other.
Right.
And when he was leaving, he was like, T, I got some tracks put aside for you. I want you to hear. He's working on like some of the big dog stuff, which is all of us. And he's like, there's certain guys that I have in mind. And I was like, man, bro, you know me. I like that old swinging, dope dealing ass fly shit. That's just what I like. Right. So what does that tell you? That's that's my comfort zone. You know what I mean? My comfort zone is my comfort zone.
Exactly.
But I don't know, bro. Like different tracks are going to bring out a different story to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But most of my stories are street stories about dope dealing cats that fuck hoes. You know what I mean? That's what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm comfortable talking about. That's what I like to do. So, if you ask me to do a certain song that's about a certain subject, I can do it.
Right.
I have no issue. But it's like when we first used to do songs, we had something that we would say like we're not gonna lie. That was one of our rules. We're not gonna lie on no songs that we write. Everything's got to be the truth. Like and man, after one album of doing that, you're like, well, goddamn, what else can we say? Like we done said all this shit. So we kind of learned that it's about storytelling. It's like a movie director. That's what I tell some people sometimes because they kind of talk about writer's block. Yeah. It's like you can write science fiction, you can write gangland, you can write whatever, but you just got to kind of you stick to yourself as an author and you keep who you are. And I think that's what works for me. Right. The Tommy G stuff that I put out, bro, I do not follow trends. You ain't going to hear me talking about some shit that I think's going to sell just because everybody else is doing it right then and there.
Right.
I see that, I feel like when you do that, you disappoint our fans. You know what I mean? Because our fans know who we are and they know when we're not being true to who we are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not going to hear me just do some shit because it's hot at the moment. I'm not going to do that. Now there are certain tracks that I can hear and I can go with it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like as a lyricist, that's what I feel like I'm lyrical when it comes to that. I can do that kind of stuff, right? But I like sticking to what the fans like to hear me do, but still I do progress with the times, if that makes sense, right? Like, so I'm not going to be rapping about, Polo and some other shit from, 1998. I'm going to talk about what's going on now. But like I tell people all the time, if you put my Ready Bang album in right now, it's going to jam.
Right.
Because I believe in what I do and I know what my music is like. A lot of dudes can't do that. They follow trends, and as soon as they follow a trend and you put it in, they're like, nah, I'm not into that no more.
Exactly.
My shit, I know on my album, you're always going to find something that still goes hard, and that's what I like to stick to. My shit is like timeless, if that makes sense.
Right,
and even my track selection and everything I do, as far as for what my fans know that I do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I stick to.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha. I know Johnny was saying you got some new merch out.
Yeah.
I like right now bro, I'm always up to something. I just had a raffle for a pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hustler, bro. I love money. I love making money. But yes, I work, I do it all. Right. But yes, I have merchandise out because the fans asked for it. So yes, this weekend I got printed up like 50 shirts. I done went through like 20 in one day. So it's always something that I do. I'll print up shirts, hoodies, or whatever, my overflow stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I just push it. So like I just dropped a new single. It's called Southside.
Yeah.
That I just dropped. What's crazy is I had some new stuff that I'm working on, and I asked a bunch of producers to send me some stuff, and I probably got about 30 songs, bro.
Yeah.
And I just didn't hear really nothing I really liked.
Oh, okay.
Nothing really grabbed me. And it was crazy because the one track that I heard that really said, I'm gonna rock this one first.
Yeah.
Was from a producer in Galveston.
Oh, okay.
and it's the Southside track that we just dropped right now. I'm getting a good little response from it. I just put it out there for the people just to, listen to and respond to it.
Right.
And, that's what I do. I got another song coming up. It's called "Let the Cards Fall" that I did with Tito from the Kickdoor Bandits. Tito's working with Gold Toes and them Real Tough. That's my boy right there. That's my family right there. Toes and all them and Bert. I went to the Astros game with Bert a couple days before I went to the Yankees game against the Astros. But anyway, Tito's so busy. I called Tito last night, man. I was like, Tito, man, just give me that song, bro. Let me have that song because the song is amazing. It's called "Let the Cards Fall." Okay. Some producer out of Russia made that motherfucker, man.
Oh, man.
and it's nasty. So what I'm in the process of doing right now is just dropping singles, light pushes on them just to give the people, something.
Yeah.
A
little taste, yeah.
Yeah, here and there, because when I first came home, I thought it was all about albums, but I've kind of understood about the single process of things, They're kind of changing with the times, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, merchandise, I always have it. I always print up something.
Right.
Hard copies, I keep hard copies. Like right now, when the guys bought the T-shirts, I gave them a free CD.
Oh, nice.
Just to give it to them, and then. I'm doing mail outs these next couple of days, and I'll give them CDs with the stuff too. So yeah, I always have some little merchandise or swag shit going on, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah, always doing something.
Gotcha. So on the single, it isn't like a full album. You're gonna be working on next. You're just gonna be dropping singles going forward.
Man, I got a song with Gold Toes and Bing on the hook. Bro, because I work with Manic a lot too.
Yeah.
Manic Beats. That's my boy, man. I got a whole album over there sitting over there right now. And he gets on my ass every time I talk to him. Tommy, what are you going to do with this album? But man, I just keep working. So yeah, I'm just kind of like dropping singles. Okay. Some of these songs I'll probably go back in and revamp them a little bit just to listen to them again.
Yeah.
But, we'll see, man. We'll see. If I drop something, it'll probably be like a 6-song EP or something, whatever it is, just to put something together for everybody as a package, right?
Okay.
But man, I just love giving people music, bro. Like that's it, Like that morning that I woke up where I did the Southside song, I woke up that morning and we were getting it mixed, and I was like. And it was 4th of July weekend. I'm like, man, I'm going to drop that song today. And I hit up PT Davila, and I was like, hey, man, do this artwork for me. And he does the artwork for me. And by fucking 3 o'clock, I had that bitch loaded up, ready to go. And 2 days later, it was on every digital platform you can imagine. You know what I mean?
Man.
And that's how I do it. You know what I mean? It's just, I get the how you say it? Like, the ánimo para hacerlo, you know what I mean? And I just drop it,
Just gotta do it. Just gotta do it.
Yeah, man, that's just how I move. Once I start moving, I move fast. So I need to sit my ass down and put it together, EP, to answer your question. Yes, I do.
There you go. All right. Well, I mean, Tommy, we appreciate you stopping by, man, and letting us chat with you about this.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
Definitely want to bring you back, and we can discuss some more stuff. We got a lot of shows planned for the future. These first 10 episodes we're all doing basically is just to make sure we got everything set before we go live, and then we're going to be doing a weekly show.
Sure.
So definitely want to make sure to bring you back. We can talk some more.
No doubt.
Because I always get a lot of questions, and somebody that's been through the game as deep as you have, no pun intended.
Sure.
You can always answer those questions for a lot of these young guys. I try and let them know. One with the marketing, especially how interactive it is. It's something that has to be done daily now. It isn't like when we were releasing albums and we planned things out, a year in advance.
Exactly.
And we would look at things, quarter 1, quarter 2. Now, the way that these artists have to market their stuff, it's literally like their own live shows, with their own live streaming. The constant content is what they have to have. So
I'm down with whatever. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. I've been seeing y'all guys have the award shows.
Yeah, definitely.
I see y'all have stuff going on like that. I commend you guys. Y'all guys, y'all do it for the love, and that's always,
definitely
an amazing thing. You can tell the people that do it for the love and the people that just do it because they're just going through the motions.
Right.
And y'all ain't them. Y'all guys have been doing this shit for a long time, and much love and respect.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, Tommy, and this is gonna wrap up.
Hold on
SLM.
just a sec.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Tommy, how can people reach out to get that merch from you?
Man, all you got to do is just go to my Tommy G Overflow page on Instagram, or you can go to my Facebook, Thomas Grimaldo. You
go.
I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
I've been having the same number since I got home. My shit don't change, bro.
There
I'm
you
here.
go.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
And please, I encourage everybody to come. Check out the new Southside album.
Yeah,
I'm
check
on
it out, check it out.
Spotify. Spotify, all you got to do is look up Tommy G, and my stuff comes and shoots right up, and y'all can check it all out. I have my Tommy G page on YouTube, and all that kind of stuff, man. So, whatever y'all need, I'm easy to reach, and I'm not hard to find. So, man, please, I appreciate the fans. I appreciate the love. I appreciate everybody sticking with me and always keeping up with me and asking me what I have going on.
Yes, sir.
And it's there for you guys. You just got to look for it and fuck with me.
That's it. Yes, sir.
There you go. There you go. Well, appreciate you once again, Tommy G.
Tommy G.
Thank you, guys, man. Y'all guys stay blessed, man. And the next talk, we're going to talk about some haunted houses. I'm going to tell you about what I saw one day.
There you
There you go. Let's do it.
All right. Appreciate you guys, man. Y'all stay blessed.
Hey,
All right.
take care, man.
All right, bye-bye.
This is Don Tino and Johnny
Johnny
V.
V.
Here, SLM Podcast episode number 4. We're going to be signing off here. Going to bring everybody back next month. Let's see if we can get into one of those dark hour discussions. And a couple of the short films we got coming out.
Yep.
We got the zombie movie coming, and we got a new short film coming. Plus, we got the documentary. 2020, the year the music was gone documentary coming out. Of course, some of you did hear. We had some trouble with that, but the editing is back on par, so we'll make sure to get that documentary out. We're still doing some filming, so if you want to be a part of that, get at us. We can get your interview done. We can get some footage done.
Definitely.
All right, we will see you back on the next episode, SLM Podcast.
We out.